Hello there. Let's have a little chat about something called the Caretaker Convention, which is not a convention for caretakers. What would that even look like? Like you'd have to have booths and find a location that all these caretakers could go to. Who would be the guest speakers? What sort of merch could you buy? No, it's different kind of convention. It's actually the rules that are in place for making sure that government can keep doing what government does on a day-to-day basis between, well, governments, those that set the policy and direction for the way the country is going to go. And there's two really specific situations that the convention kicks in. One is right now, in between a loss of an election with an outgoing government, but before the new government is officially appointed. So we have a caretaker government in place under the Caretaker Convention. The other time that it kicks in is also one that we're likely to see over the next 3 years because did you see who we elected? And that's when the House loses confidence in the government of the day. So they can't get anything done. Now, under the convention, the rules are, well, they're interesting. For a start, a caretaker government should only defer things if they can. So, let the next government deal with it. They're the ones setting the policy and making the decisions for the next few years. So, if you can make sure that they've got all the information possible, absolutely. So, a caretaker government shouldn't lock the next government into a contract that can't get out of, for example. But sometimes things crop up where a decision has to be made now. That's why we have the caretaker government in place. It might be something like a natural disaster occurs, or there's policy that was actually passed into law before the election that still needs to be enacted, or if there was another freedom movement camp on the steps of Parliament, for example. Those would all have to be dealt with by the caretaker government. Sometimes, though, there's an international incident that occurs, and that's a little bit more complicated because, in theory, the caretaker government should be able to make a statement saying, we as a country condemn this, which is what we're seeing at the moment with the issues in the Middle East between Israel and Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. But the caretaker convention also says that you should, in theory, try and work with everybody in Parliament as much as possible if a decision can't be deferred. I don't know if that's happened or not. I haven't seen the information as to whether or not that's happened, but the incoming Prime Minister has said that this is the sort of thing that Chris Hipkins should deal with. So Chris Hipkins has made a statement. But it doesn't necessarily mean the statement's going to stand if we've got a new government coming in with a new foreign policy. See how complicated and messy this whole convention thing is. And the real kicker here is there are actually no official rules in place beyond things like not breaching confidentiality. The guidelines are use your best judgment. And the convention actually states there are no hard and fast rules for a caretaker government, which seems kind of weird. That would be just kind of working on an honesty box system for a change of government. But considering we also pull laws out of a biscuit tin, then maybe it's not so weird after all.